They were talking about the importance of believing that something is possible. And I was reading an article a while ago about how, for a very long time, the record for a certain high jump in sports was unbeaten, and nobody had jumped higher over the hurdle. I think that's what it was. And then there was this moment when somebody broke the record, and then right after that record was broken, a whole bunch of people managed to meet the new benchmark which was established. I thought that was an amazing story because it proves a point. When we believe something is not possible, when we know it's never been done before, then we limit ourselves because we don't push hard enough to actually take things to the next level. We've already decided inside it's not possible, so why even try? We push to that farthest extent we believe is possible, and then we stop there. But as soon as we believe it's possible, as soon as there's one person who's managed to be successful, then we know it's possible. We know it's attainable. It's no longer this magical thing that seems totally out of reach. And then we start doing things commonly that we didn't used to think were things we could do at all. So it's important to always believe that you can do whatever it is that you really want, that you can have whatever it is that you most desire. That doesn't mean that you just magic things into existence. And it doesn't always mean that you get your way. But knowing that good things are possible is often the first step toward actually having those good things in your life. And that's why so many people are self-limiting and don't have as much blessings in their life as they potentially could. Because when someone says, well, there's not any way I could possibly get out of this rough situation, there's no possible way that those joyous things that I aspire to are going to actually be part of my life, then you when you believe that, you just aren't going to do the things that are going to potentially make your dreams come true. So don't let yourself be self-limiting. Don't write yourself off. Don't write off your dreams. Understand that it's one thing to be patient and wait. It's another thing to just camp in one place and not even have a mindset of progress. You've got to keep on pushing forward. You've got to keep on setting new benchmarks. You've got to keep on breaking those records and working on yourself, even when you are in times that are quiet, in times which are not bearing the fruit that you want right away. You keep on tending the garden. It's all about consistent stewardship. It's about not believing that the best is behind you. Life is fundamentally good if we make the best of it. And sometimes we just start to get down. We stop believing. We stop having faith that things happen for a reason. And then we get discouraged. And whenever we get discouraged, then it becomes a vicious cycle, sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy of disappointment. I also think it's important to talk about how sometimes we want things to happen and then they don't happen the way we wish. They don't happen on our timeline. And then we start to think, well, I guess we failed. And yet, when you go through adversity, when you experience setbacks, when things don't go your way, when you're forced to be patient, sometimes you'll find that things work out for the better in the end, but you had to go through an experience on the front side that isn't what you initially wanted, so that you could get something better down the road. And when we go from point A to point B, we always imagine it's this straight line. You just go there. But really, it's this wild maze of a path we have to follow. And there's so many different things that have to happen in order for us to get from the place where we begin to the place where we're supposed to end up. If we could see on the front side just how chaotic, how long, how convoluted that path would be, we'd never have the fortitude or the patience or the willingness to put up with that. So, in a sense, we have to understand that all things work together for good, and there's a purpose behind things that happen and things that don't happen, even if we don't necessarily understand it up front. And I think I want to shift gears a little bit now and talk about how when you want to achieve something in your life selfishly, you tend to do the wrong thing. You go about it in the wrong way. But then there's a point in life where you start to have this idea that the things I do, I don't really do just for myself alone. I'm doing them because I want to make other people's life better too, in some way. And it's not so much just about me anymore. And that's a really powerful idea, because it starts to create a path of service instead of selfishness. But then the interesting thing about that is it doesn't lead entirely to just thinking about how you can put other people before yourself all the time. You also start figuring out, how can you thrive personally? How can you invest in yourself so that you have more joy in your life, more success in your life? And you do it selfishly because you view yourself as an extension of others and others as an extension of yourself. Other people's joy and happiness is an extension of your own. And you know that you can't really serve well if your own personal cup is empty. So you work on yourself. You take care of yourself. You are selfish, maybe more so selfish, in the sense that you do try to always make sure that you take care of yourself first. But then, because you have this enlightened selfishness, you know that the highest selfishness is to encourage other people along the way. Because in the end, when all things are said and done, we won't take any of it with us. And it's going to be the things that we've done to serve and encourage others, which actually gives us legacy and purpose when our turn's up. So start to be more selfish, to take care of yourself, and also at the same time more selfless, to realize that the best way to get ahead in life is to make your motivations driven by something other than just yourself. And be patient to wait, because sometimes we just have to wait. but also make sure that you're working on yourself, because we each have different seasons in our life, and it's important for us to use those seasons to their fullest potential, because the things that you can do today are not necessarily the things you can do next year. And the things that you're going to be able to do next year might not be the things that you're able to do today. So you've got to make the most out of the individual advantage you have in the moment. I used to play Civilization, and I would always think about how you skip a turn because you want to get more done. So you just skip the turn, you don't really do anything on that turn, and then you advance. And it's true, time passes, and then you get those build orders completed, but you also lose time. So it's important to make every turn count for something. Not to expect that everything happens all in one turn, because that's not how it goes. But also to make sure that every turn you have, you're looking for ways to advance the blessings that life has given you in that moment. Always believe that things are possible. It's not a guarantee. But until you believe that something's possible, it won't happen. Because even if it would happen, you'll shut the door before it has a chance to grow. It's like if you had some sort of edible plants growing in your yard and you didn't know about it. You're going to keep on mowing the grass, and you're never going to actually let it grow. You're never going to realize that there was edible plants growing there, because you never realized that there was any value to be gained from allowing them to grow. So you just weed whack it and keep on going. And maybe if you would have let it grow, you would have realized there was more there than had met the eye. But we have to first believe. And that's why it's so important to believe that the universe is a friendly place, to believe that all things are working together for good, to truly believe when something doesn't seem like it's going our way, that it's still happening for a reason, and to be at peace with it, even if it feels like it's difficult. In all things, always strive to find peace with the position you have in your life, while also remaining proactive to seize the moment, because we don't have any spare moments in life. Life's so short. We have time to be patient, but we don't have time to waste. As always, as you engage in your adventure throughout life, best of luck to you wherever you find yourself. Till next time, thanks for watching.